Welcome back. Corporate Sufi. The fifth habit we want to talk about is time management. Not only leaders, but everyone has got problems with time management. Is time management the fact that we're not managing our time? Is it a self problem or is it a life problem?
So I think, you can call it time management or you can call it self-management. I think if you really look at it carefully, it's self-management. How you manage yourself and how you manage your time. So you are the one who is managing. You are the captain of your ship. You are the architect of your life and you are the master of your destiny. So how you go about managing yourself will determine how you manage the time.
We all know that there's only 24 hours a day. We need a certain amount of time to eat, to sleep, to rest, to do exercise, etc. But the reality is most people spend majority of the time doing things that they have to do, like work. How do we find the right balance in time management or self-management, as you say?
So first of all, most people will tell you there's not enough time. So if there's a level playing field, it's time. Everybody has to spend 24 hours. So no matter if you're a prime minister, if you're a president of a country, whatever it is, we all have the same time. So number one. Number two is, actually there's no shortage of time. There's a shortage of focus. There's a shortage of, priorities. So it's really about when you realize that there is no shortage of time, is how you manage yourself, how you optimize the outcome that you're going about it.
Yeah, I can go to work every day and I can say, okay, I'll keep an hour or two just dedicated for me to address specific issues or to think or to write or to read. I'll even put it into my agenda, but it just does not happen. I cannot stop engaging myself in what I feel are more important priorities than to keep an hour just to think.
Yeah, no, I think interruptions are a real time drainer. Okay, now some interruptions are important, but if you're not allowing yourself on a daily basis a habit of having some uninterrupted time in the morning and some uninterrupted time in the afternoon, you're not productive. There's a study done that every 11 minutes you get disturbed by somebody. Either somebody comes in your door or a phone rings or email comes in. You have to be ruthless with how you protect your time. So for example, if you want an hour to think, don't go to the office, go to a coffee shop, keep your phone on silence and do your hour. In my case, when I was an accountant, I used to have a voicemail in my office. Thank you for calling Azim. Meetings, I will call you back between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Okay, now I used to wake up at 2 a.m., my life, right? I wake up pretty early and I work till 4 a.m., meditate for an hour, do my exercise, reading, meditation, and then my day starts. And then up to 3 p.m. I don't take any calls. Guess what? I can do so much work. And then 3 p.m. I check my messages, the 20 messages. I stand up and I call one by one, boom, boom, boom. First of all, 70 to 80% calls are not that life-threatening or anything. And so you pick your important ones. But I saved a whole day of interruptions by not taking those calls. But if you're not ruthless in how you manage your time and how you manage your space, your productivity is shut down. It's not how many hours you work. It's what you create in those hours. And if you want to create high-level stuff, you cannot create in the distractions and interruptions and all that.
So you're bringing up this issue of quality versus quantity, right? You don't need so many hours to do great stuff. You need the right time, the right focus to do what you need to do. I understand that completely. But we are in a world of technology. Email is even too slow. People are on WhatsApp. I am unable to disconnect from WhatsApp because any engagement that I need to have today is becoming standard over WhatsApp. If you don't respond on time, there's an impression of you that, these guys, the company's become so big, or the CEO thinks too much of himself. He's taking a day to answer. So there's this whole pressure from society that we need to react quickly, and WhatsApp and other social media has made it difficult. How do I manage that?
So it's exactly the point about self-management. You see, you are now doing other people's priorities instead of doing your priorities. You're not managing yourself because you're reacting. He might think this and she might think this. Guess what? If you reply very quickly, they think you don't have any work to do. As long as if you leave a voicemail to say, I'll call you between 3 and 5 p.m., most people can wait till 3 p.m. But if you don't leave a message as vague, then they'll think, you forgot, you didn't get my message, you make people worry. But if you're specific in how you're going to respond, And people know, oh yeah, of course, they expect your call from 3 to 5, so they'll keep themselves open for that.
So with self-management, there's also identifying and understanding where you need to focus your time. How important is delegation then in this process?
Okay, so we have a whole section on delegation. We'll talk about it later, but it's very important. It's very important because if you can use your people around you, then you can become freer to do very high-level work. Otherwise, you can get caught up with pedestrian stuff, which is not at your level of work.
Sometimes leaders are more effective by being inspirational. Sometimes leaders are more effective by hand-holding others. So how do we focus our time? How do we determine where our time is best used?
Yeah, so I think again goes back to goal setting. You have your goals. You have your 3 priorities. Okay, and you start your 3 priorities as my co-author, Brian Tracy says, eat the frog in the morning. So get the most important, most hard stuff first in the morning, get it out of the way, then your rest of the day can be a bit more flexible, right? Because you've done your 3 most important business things and 3 important personal things. Now you've got the whole day to take interruptions, do whatever you like. So that helps you to decide. So I think in time and self-management, less is more. Doing less of important stuff is better than doing more of unimportant stuff. Knowing what's important. If you have too many priorities, you have no priorities. Slow is fast. In relationship building, trust, rapport, slow down to speed up. And also small is big. Small things matter. Success is in big things, happiness is in small things. We have the Pareto principle. 20% you do gives you 80%. 20% of your customer give you 80% profit. 20% of your efforts give you 80% results. I would go a step further. How do you do 10-90? Focus on the 10% that gives you 90% in your household, in your business, in your life, and suddenly you're doing less but achieving huge. But for that, you need to be crystal clear about your goals, and you need to be crystal clear what are the 10% I do that are the game changers that create the outcome that you want.
I have a professor who was telling me that when he goes from Boston to Australia, he goes to Australia to see his family, he deletes the mail app on his phone so that physically he cannot receive any mail. When he gets back to Boston, he puts it back and all the mails come in. Someone's taking care of his mails in the meantime. That's a discipline. So there is a certain level of discipline that we need to have better time management, to have better self-management. I believe that would be a key to that success.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You see, when you're very clear about what you need to do and what your priorities are, and you're disciplined to get them done, then don't sweat. Nobody's dying. If you're not available for 4 hours, nobody's going to die. We make ourselves so important that if I don't do something, everybody's going to collapse. The way you want to manage your emails is, and this is what I do sometimes, is I have my priorities. So if I have to send an email out, I will send my email out, but I will not look at the email coming in. I will find a way not to look at the email, because once I look at an email, even if I didn't read it, my mind is now distracted. So usually I don't check emails in the morning because that's the time when it distracts you. So you finish your goals first, 3 goals, then you can check the emails. But check if I know part of my priorities is to expect an email from Greg, from Salim, or from from Sandy. I will just put their name, search, and look at it, reply. Anything I want to send out, I'll send out. The rest I will leave it for the afternoon. Because for me, especially in the afternoon, about 3, 4, I'm getting a bit lethargic. And when I look at emails, it's like coffee. I wake up, so much happening in there. So at that time, I can afford to look at it because I'm sleepy, so I want to wake up. So the emails will wake me up, so I don't need to have a coffee. And then I can respond to them. And most of them are not earth-shattering.
The page that I'm taking out of your book right now is switch off. Know when to switch off and stay switched off.
Absolutely. Self-management, right? It's about, do you want to achieve your goals or you want to react to everybody else's whatever, right? So if you want to achieve your goals, you focus on them, not being selfish. You allow some time for responding, but start with, it's an inside-out approach. If you don't meet your goals, you can't meet other people's goals.
So Azim, please summarize for us the habit of time management.
So I think we have to realize that our life is our time. Anything we have in our life is a time. So time is very precious, and we need to protect our time in a nice way to be able to achieve the goals we have in our life. And part of time management, an integral part, is self-management, your own discipline, how you approach things. So don't judge your success by how much you do, judge your success by what you do. It's not the amount of stuff I did, it's not the effort, it's the results that count. It's not the output, it's the outcome that counts. And be very clear about your priorities and ensure that you finish your priorities early in the morning if that's doable for you, and avoid any interruptions until you finish them. And then the rest of the day you can be available for everybody else. And remember that nobody is dying. You're not supposed to be available 24/7 to people. It's not a right expectation, but be very clear about when you're available, when you're not available. So people know this is the time you're going to be available, this is the time you won't be available.
Super. Thank you very much, Azim Jamal.
So I hope you benefited from the 7 habits we've talked about with Salim and myself. And they are life-changing habits. And if you implement in your life, it can be a huge benefit for you. It's been a huge benefit for me. They are not easy to make it as natural as breathing and become a master at it. And that's why we're offering this program to help you implement in such a way that you become a master at them, so they can be lifelong habits for you, which can be transformational in your life. So thank you for being here, and we're looking forward to our workshops and weekly exercises with you.